Let's talk about the fact that nobody knows anything and yet we have to do something. And this includes me here. I don't know anything. I think some things. And I think that's how it goes for anybody. Mm, I think that the more certain a person is about something, the more wary we should be about their knowledge. So, yeah, nobody knows anything. We're all pretty much just guessing. And what can we do about that? In the absence of people knowing things, what are our alternatives? I think that the best and biggest alternative we have is to try things, experimentation, and finding out for yourself, seeing what works and what doesn't for you. That is very important. Um, Unfortunately, of course, we can only try so many things in our lifetimes, and there's a lot to learn and consider. So, one thing that I think is useful, if we can, is to learn by the stories of other people and their experiences. And I think that's perhaps the big reason why we like stories so much and we are drawn to people's experiences and life stories and books and all that, because you can really supercharge your catalog of experiences and not limit it to your own personal ones. um, and of course there's experts. And what I want to say about experts, and I guess that includes all kinds of experts. It's people writing books, people making videos, people who claim some expertise. I think that on one hand, it's wise and useful to trust them, and on the other, it's not. And again, here I'm not sure exactly what the rule of thumb is, because sometimes you have to trust them and sometimes you have to not. And to know which is which, that's it's a hard one. I'm very skeptical about knowledge, unfortunately. I um i think that people often believe they know the causes of things. They know why something happened, or why somebody wants what they want. And I am a believer in the impossibility of knowing causes. I I don't think we know the whys of anything. Why does something happen? Because there's always so many factors. It's like everything is the cause to everything else, because everything is happening in the same universe. So when we isolate things that way and we say this is the cause of that, that's just it's just a verbal bug, really. Everything is as it is because everything else is as it is. But anyway, let's not get too philosophically deep, because that's a big trap. Let's try to come back to being practical about this issue. One thing that I believe is helpful when dealing with people and in terms of knowledge is to think about what they are saying they want or like or don't want or um, don't like, because I think that any I needed something more slightly more blue here for the sky. I think it's going either blue. Yeah, I think blue will be good. Right, wants and likes. I think that when we translate, it's going to be gray. When we translate what people are saying as I like, I don't like, I want, I don't want, like whatever they say, you translate it that way, you can get pretty good at understanding them. And if you don't do that, it will be pretty hard to understand them. So whatever somebody says, just to mentally transform that into I want, and try to figure out what it is that they're wanting, or translate it into I like and figure out what it is that they are saying they like. Because I believe that's all we can really say for sure when we're sharing supposed knowledge. We're saying, I want this, I like this, I don't want that, I don't like that. And if that resonates with you, if you want and like the same things as that person, then maybe their tips, their advice could be useful to you. Other tools to navigate this world of nobody knowing anything and yet we're having to do things. So one interesting tool that is quite weird but very powerful is intuition. And I don't actually know how that works, right? It's a mysterious force of the universe. But if you can get in touch with that, that's super powerful, I think. Just this felt sense of this is what is, I can't even put it into words. It's so mysterious. But yeah, it's intuition. Another one is trial and error experience. Just try something, see how that goes, and then try something else and see how that goes. I think oftentimes we don't experiment enough. Because we do tend to, and I speak for myself here, we tend to repeat the same patterns. And we can learn a lot from experimentation. Feedback, that is a good one, but it has the same problems of other people's opinions. You have to realize that what they're saying is I like, I don't like, I want, I don't want. Like nobody has this perfect feedback of, oh, I know exactly what would be amazing, what would be right, especially what would be right for you. So you have to consider their feedback carefully. And to expand a little bit on the intuition, I think that emotions can be very powerful for making decisions, because if you're going to feel like crap with some decision that you rationalize yourself into, then that's probably not the right decision anyway. So it's useful to tune into what you feel about something and use that as part of one's decision making process. And at the same time, of course, emotions can be liars. So it's not that simple. It's a problem. And to conclude, I'd say that it's very useful to have a thesis and to follow it through and see what happens. Like, know what your thesis is, and try it out, and then you can evaluate it. Oh, okay, when I followed this thesis, this was the result. So then you decide, do I want to do that again? This was probably quite vague. That would be my feedback for myself on this one. Lucas, what the hell are you talking about? Well, nobody knows anything anyway, so I guess it's okay to ramble a little bit. And this is the watercolor for today. All right. Thank you.